Welcome back to the channel. Got a fun project slated for the next day or two, and that's going to be to stain the deck. So we arrived at the cabin yesterday afternoon. I was able to get the deck power washed. Now I'm going to do a little bit more prepping, and I got a major lip, which I really notice when I'm shoveling the snow. I'm just tacking those down before we stain. And this is the product I'm using for ours. So I'm just looking around, giving it the old boot test. Here's a good one. Make sure my joist is underneath me. I'm going to scout around one last time and see if there's any other places that I should put another screw in. But I am trying to be judicious with my drilling and screwing of this redwood. Just want to show you the amount of gunk this is picking up. Look at that. Whatever it's doing, seems to be helping. All right, we're just about done with the cleaner. Same process, just no scrubbing with the brightener. Gosh, our job's getting easy. We just can't get over what a difference this brightening product makes. You can see where Tammy has stopped. Pretty impressive.
And that still needs another at least probably 10 minutes. It's huge.
So how far did you go on that first section, hon?
The first rail.
Just to the first rail?
That's kind of.
And then these two are together?
Nope. Each one separate.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was doing.
Well, 6 hours later, we are not only exhausted, but our backs are shot. Well, we are excited how things turned out, and we're gonna let it dry out for a day. Maybe it's Thursday night, about 8 now. So we'll probably tackle it Saturday morning.
Sounds like a plan.
That is, if I can talk Tammy into it. But we are exhausted, so we're gonna go run out and grab a little bite to eat and pick this up on Saturday. Well, good morning. It's Saturday, just about 7:45, and we want to get going on this staining project before it gets too warm. It's just about 70 now. I'm gonna go ahead and blow off whatever landed on the deck yesterday. We'll move the table up against the cabin, stain this area. Once it's dried, we'll move the grill and the heaters and the table back over, and we'll stain next to the cabin. While Tammy's doing the front stairway, I'm going to start and do the first board and work my way towards her on the other side. This outer edge of this board's a pain with the railing right there. All right, we got the periphery done, and now we are going to use this garden sprayer and try to spray the body of the deck now. Well, here we are starting in the corner of the deck, and I forgot our game plan. As you can see, I went a little wider than 3 or 4 boards as we originally talked about. So Tammy's doing her best to wipe what she can reach and reminding me of we've got to stick to 3 to 4 boards and do the length so that we have dry area which we can stand on to wipe down the stain before it starts to set and becomes tacky. So here I am taking the 1 gallon garden sprayer and trying to apply a fairly consistent coat of stain, and Tammy's coming behind me making sure the product is getting distributed well. And we're going to go the length of the deck, which is 50 feet approximately. So there she is using her applicator, making sure we've got it in the nooks and crannies. And then we're going to come behind ourselves and take our towels or our rags and wipe off the excess. So what you want to do in this case, where you're limited on access to wipe, is try to limit yourself to a few boards at a time, whatever your reach may be, and just run your entire length. So I found this garden sprayer to work fairly well. There was times where the tip would get a little bit clogged and the spray pattern wasn't quite ideal. And perhaps next time I'd use my electric DeWalt sprayer, but I really didn't want to take that $250 sprayer and gunk it up with the stains. So I just used a $15 sprayer that I picked up at Home Depot. I'll tell you, this is a little bit frustrating, and mainly because of just the manpower of two here today. And perhaps if you had a third person or a fourth person, you could work much quicker. One guy could, in essence, be spraying more of a bigger area at a time and having those people come behind them to distribute and wipe. All right, we got the main portion of the deck stained, and now we're going to move to the front portion. It is 12:15, so we're about 4 hours into it. We got a little bit of energy left, and unfortunately, with our manpower being limited to Tammy and I, we're having to work around the grill, the two heaters, and our table that we're not able to lift off. So it is what it is, and we are excited to be getting close to being done.
We definitely are.
Dinner on Tammy tonight. My choice of places. And I got expensive tastes.
That sounds so wrong.
Well, 5.5 hours later, we are done. Needless to say, we're both a little tired. Well, 5.5 hours later, we got the deck done. Got the upper deck, got the main deck, minus where the barbecue grill and the table are located. Got the outside apron. Definitely a project. A couple of things I'd recommend before starting this project. Make sure you and your wife are on good terms before you begin, as you might test each other's patience. We only had a couple of those episodes, but I think Tammy still likes me, so. Anyway, we'll let this dry and move our furniture around and finish off that blank spot. 5.5 hours to stain it, 6 hours to prep it. I would say a lot of work. Satisfying, yes, a lot of work. And probably each individual has to ask themselves if it's worth hiring it out or tackling it on your own. I'm glad we did it. Glad it's done. And hopefully we'll get 2 seasons out of it. It's my hope. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Adventures with Alex and Tammy.